Hey, what's up, Twitter? All right, so this one's based off of a tweet that I saw where someone was very rude to a writer, giving them notes, and it got me thinking about politeness in the industry and how it's such a rare thing and needs to change. So the realest stuff I've seen was when I was repped by my ex, and she would just forward me the emails, and I would see them in real time. Like I'm walking down the street, boom, here's the email. Oh, it's from this company. They said it's a disaster, or they said the writing is terrible, or whatever, and it's like really mean shit, So I saw it, and most reps will hide that from you because I see it on Twitter. There's a lot of really fragile writers out there who can't handle it, but I could handle it, so my ex would just send it to me. And I've asked other reps to do that, and they don't because they don't want to mess with your head. But so on the same script, disaster, terrible, whatever, like all these rude things people are saying about my stuff, where you could just say it wasn't for me. I mean, that's how classy people do it. A huge producer contacts me and says, "Hey, I would like you to write this thing for me. How would you like to do that?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah." And I could hear I'm like, "Is he on set right now?" Like I can hear it back there, like rolling, like I can hear it. And he's kind of whispering, and so whatever. So, you know, as a young exec, or as someone who's not as established as him. By the way, he has you can figure it out. He's has a management firm, plus he does a lot of movies with a guy who dresses in black a lot and rides motorcycles and is a badass and is known for being nice. I mean, you can figure that out, but I'm not going to confirm. And so, would you tell a producer at that level that they're wrong? I wouldn't. I would ask, what is it about this script that you like about it, so I can learn something, That's what I did when I went into the meeting with him. And then he took me under his wing and stuff, and I have nothing bad to say about him, only praise. But if you're so much smarter than him as a young exec, and you're saying like, we think this, we think that, we think the script is terrible, then why don't you live in the birds like he does? Bird streets, you know what I'm talking about? In a $10 or $20 million house or whatever it is that he lives in. Why do you live in an apartment? Like, honest to God, why do you live in an apartment and he's in the birds? I would probably try to go under his wing and figure out what it is that he likes about the script, because he's obviously a smart dude. And there's women like that as well. Let me move on. Baby agent. So I had a baby agent at my party, and he says to me, and this is about politeness, right? This is about being polite. So I have a baby agent at my party, and he says to me, "I could be a writer if I wanted to be. I just don't have the patience." Excuse me? Like, could there be a ruder thing to say to a writer who's already written and written for, people bigger than you? It's not a flex. It's just saying like, like, you're in my house right now. Like, why are you telling me this rude shit? So I'm like, great. You could be a writer. Pitch me. And he's like, "Oh, we don't have that part yet." And I'm like, "You don't have what part? You don't have the part where it's a story? You don't have the part where it's a movie or a TV show or whatever? Come on, man. Don't tell me that, and you can't even pitch me." And how did you make it to agent if you're still thinking this newbie stuff, you know? And so I'm like, what do you have? And he's like, oh, well, we have some jokes and we're going to like tie it together and then we're going to get, put the script together. And I'm like, dude, that is not a script. Sorry. Like, that's not how writing works. It's more involved than that. So whatever. Just understand that there's people in the industry that are that fucking stupid. Point blank. Thirdly, executives should think about this, that when an agent goes to you, like big agents, when they go to you with a product, I call it product. When an agent goes to you with material and says, hey, check it out, it's good. And then you come back with some rude comments and you say, the writing is terrible, blah, blah, blah. The agent already signed off on the script. They already read it. They already, gave their, few little notes after the manager, like, super deep dove it. The agent gave their little notes and they believe in this writer and they believe that this writer represents the brand. So when you say that, you're talking shit on their whole brand and putting them down. So they're going to remember that, especially if the script goes on to be a hit. And I'm thinking of a specific project that was a hit, and then people came back and said, hey, congrats. Can you send me the next that? And by the way, why did I not see it? And the agent's thinking, dude, you did see it. I sent it to you. I remember my list. I'm not stupid. I remember my list. You saw it and you passed. So fuck no, I'm not going to send you the second version of it. Like, I sent you the original thing and you passed. So guess what? Boop, boop, boop. You get to drop down on my list. And I promise you, agents are doing this. And so you drop down on the list and you get it last. They're not going to go to you first. Like, whether you're a producer or, executive or whatever, you're going to go to the bottom. Something to think about later.